Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here for night 6 of the Survivor 50 Classic Episode Marathon. Tonight we're watching Survivor David vs. Goliath, Episode 5, titled Jackets and Eggs. Keeping an eye on Season 50 players Angelina, Christian, and Mike. If you like this video, you'll love my same-day recaps of Survivor 50, so consider liking, subscribing, and using my link to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. Here's where we're at. The David and Goliath tribes recently had a tribe swap to 3 tribes. On all 3, the Goliaths have the upper hand. But last week, Alec turned on the Goliaths, and Goliath Natalia's torch was snuffed. After Natalia's vote out, Carl takes her spot on the Vuku tribe, where Kara is feeling blindsided by Alec, but she tries to smooth things over with him. He reassures her that he's still working with her, and they decide to stay allies. But Alec made a self-interested move, and Kara knows she needs to put in work with the Davids. On Tiva, quick update, players enjoy the sunrise. It's a beautiful day. Gabby is worried about the Davids being in the minority on the tribe, but bad weather is rolling in. On Jabeni, Natalie tells us she loves this weather, as rain whips her from the side. In confessional,
Ollie, it's raining sideways!
Angelina and Nick protect the fire. Back on Tiva, the gorgeous day, ruined, camp, flooded, tree mail, note saying they're getting evacuated from the island. So all 3 tribes head out on boats. Christian says they're all Davids today. The storm is Goliath. Poor camera person is left behind to film. Legend has it they got swept away in the commotion. When they get back, they find their shelter is destroyed. Not pictured, the camera person's feet coming from under the shelter, like the Wicked Witch of the East. Well, this sucks. The players have to rebuild their shelter, and after all that work, they head to the challenge where, whoa, mama, that's a big old tree. The other tribes are shocked that Natalia was voted out. Alec is smug. For their reward challenge, players will use poles to pop sandbags up off their net, then slingshot the sandbags into their targets. The first place tribe will get 4 chickens and a rooster. Second place gets a dozen eggs, laid by the chickens. Last place, sorry for you, nothing. They get started, pop, pop, popping that thing. This looks like a lot of fun. Angelina shouts,
I'm heating up!
and gets a basket with her slingshot. Elizabeth gets the last target, winning the chickens for her tribe.
That's from squirrel hunting with the slingshot right there, bro!
Okay, Elizabeth, go off, girl. Nick scores and wins 2nd place and the eggs for Jabeni. Vuku heads back to camp. Davey says,
Elizabeth is from Kentucky. We're gonna have Kentucky boiled chicken tonight. Everybody needs a little KBC.
he's cracking himself up. Kara campaigns for herself to the Davids to get out of the bottom and ahead of Alec. Elizabeth doesn't trust that Kara really wants to work with the Davids more than Alec does. She just wants to save herself, so Elizabeth wants Kara out. At Jabeni, dolphin swimming symbolically represents approaching drama about eggs. Angelina's excited about the eggs. Natalie suggests they boil all the eggs so they don't go bad, but Lirsa is annoyed with Natalie. Lirsa wants to keep the eggs stored and save them because Lirsa went to culinary school, so you can't tell her nothing about eggs. So these two have fundamental disagreement about the eggs. Natalie storms away. Mike says Natalie has a degree in ungraciousness. Mike is over Natalie and ready for her to be gone. The next day, Dan calls Christian a genius, and Dan, Christian, and John form the Brochacho Alliance. Christian is so excited. John is the CEO. Christian declares himself the HAS, head of awesome stuff. Dan tells us the Brochacho Alliance leaves Gabby on the outs as their clear target. Dan already has an idol from his previous tribe, but on this new beach, he's looking for that idol. He finds a clue that tells him there's an idol hidden at their immunity challenge, which they head to. For their challenge, teams will cross obstacles to get their balls and navigate their balls through a snake maze. The first 2 teams to complete this win immunity. They get started going over what I call the butt bruiser. Green and orange get ahead, but purple is falling behind with Natalie taking some hard falls throughout the physical portion. Eventually, all 3 tribes are on the puzzle. During this, Dan sneaks up under the challenge and pulls an idol out of its butt. It's a tight race, but Goliath Trader, Alec, and Brochacho Christian win immunity by seconds, with Christian especially having a triumphant celebration and sending purple Jabeni to tribal. Lirsa says she can't stand Natalie in the game and wants her out, hoping that she's a nice lady back home, but she's not on the island. Back at Jabeni, Nick apologizes for the puzzle. Despite almost winning the puzzle after their team got their way behind, it was not his fault, but the tribe is considering Nick and Lirsa as targets right away. Angelina tells Natalie she wants Lirsa's jacket. She is cold, she wants the jacket, so she tasks Natalie to get the jacket. The plan, not very good. Natalie's execution of the plan, worse. Natalie tells Nick if he wants to stay, he needs to get them Lirsa's jacket, or give them his jacket. Nick calls Natalie a bully both to her face and in confessional. Now, does she look like a bully wrapped in her shawl, minding her business? Nick tells Lirsa that Natalie is coming for their jackets. Nick plans to bring Mike in on a vote against Natalie. Mike also doesn't like Natalie, and Mike thinks they can get Angelina in on the vote to get Natalie out. But Mike is apprehensive because Natalie is a Goliath, and it would be a shot against one of their own. Nick and Lirsa campaign to Angelina, followed by Mike. Angelina has a lot of questions, including, can I get a freaking jacket? So they get to tribal, summon their jackets, some not so fortunate. At Tribal, talk starts with tribal numbers. Angelina tells Jeff they need to keep Goliath strong. Natalie agrees, but Lyrsa brings up that Natalia went home last week. They don't know what's going on the other tribes, and that Natalie was on the bottom of the group of Goliaths anyway. Then Jeff leads a character study on Natalie, getting her to share that back home she's an absolute delight, never a source of drama, a collaborative force. Natalie brings up the eggs. She wanted to boil them, but Lyrsa says her culinary experience would suggest the eggs would last longer uncooked than cooked. Mike talks about Natalie needing things a certain way. Natalie's giving a coy smirk. She loves hearing people talk about her personality. She tells Jeff there is no issue. Everyone's getting along. Nick again calls Natalie a bully for wanting his jacket. Natalie says she's in sales. That wasn't bullying, it was negotiation. Give me your jacket and I won't vote for you. Jeff is getting a kick out of this. Natalie says she doesn't see a person. She sees a person wearing a jacket that she needs. Natalie asks Angelina for some backup. Angelina explains that Natalie was trying to help her get a jacket because she's frosty, and Natalie was acting out of love for Angelina. Mike says they need to think about vibes and trust. Natalie interjects, saying, and you should see the jackets. Chuckling to herself, Jeff tells Natalie he has her all figured out. She has to have the last word. She thinks this is very amusing. Jeff wraps things up, saying,
jackets and eggs. It has been a lively tribal council.
He said the thing. They get to voting. Natalie votes for Lyrsa, telling her to take her lime green jacket back to Boston, but does say she likes Lyrsa's purple hair. Nick votes for Natalie, saying she could make a preacher cuss. No advantages are played, and Jeff reads the votes. There's 2 votes in that thing for Lyrsa and her purple hair from Natalie and Angelina, and 3 votes for Natalie from Mike, Nick, and Lyrsa. So Natalie's voted out. As she approaches Jeff, Angelina says,
Natalie, is there any way I could have your jacket? Natalie?
Natalie does not care.
Natalie, the tribe has spoken.
Thank you, Jeff.
Natalie?
Natalie's torch is snuffed, and Natalie departs with her jacket. The way this had me rolling in live time. So we lose Natalie here, who was such a force on these few episodes. As a Goliath who's a leader in business back home, her big personality matched it. She's bossy, but most of the time, she's honestly right. If everyone listened to Natalie, the Goliaths would still be out there running a society that would shake up geopolitics. But sadly, they often didn't because her delivery is bad, and she really thinks she's a delight who everyone gets along with. I'm Team Natalie about the eggs. They had 12 tiny eggs for 5 people. Just eat them. Just eat them. Why are you saving them? Or let everyone decide what to do with their 2 eggs. Every moment Natalie's on screen is electric. She'll give you the Natalie napalm. Most of the time she's unapologetic, but there's glimmers of self-awareness when she's talking to someone she respects, where she does see what the others are saying. She's just annoyed that they continuously single her out and make everything about her, but also enjoys it. Natalie's last confessional about her jacket is, I chose not to, so I'm wearing it. I wish we'd seen this woman on TV again. On Instagram, she looks great, and she even went on to have a White Lotus cameo. Where is her Golden Globe? If there's ever a second chance season, please, I beg, I plead. But also, why doesn't Traders cast random agitators like this from CBS shows? She'd be so good on Traders. What do I have to do? I'll do anything. Let's look at our season 50 players here. The last few episodes of this marathon, I was feeling like we're being shown these episodes for a bigger reason, but this one is seriously one of the best episodes. And if you're gonna pick an episode, especially from this season, it's this one. We saw Christian form the unlikely Brochacho alliance, getting pulled into their group, then winning this tribe immunity. It was a sweet moment when he gets emotional, thanking them for the support when they won. While this episode was all about the Jabeni tribe, not a big Mike White episode. He was there was some reaction to Natalie in general, but he's not a key player in the saga of the eggs or the jackets, though he does ultimately control the strategy of the week and decide the final outcome. Was this a good choice? I get that it helped bring Nick closer, but by voting out Natalie, someone who pledged undying loyalty to the Goliaths, you lose the numbers advantage for the Goliaths, officially making things even, and you lose the numbers on Jabeni, opening the door for a potential split vote the following week. They would go on to lose the next week and vote out Lyrsa, so it works out, but in live time, questionable. Best supporting actress this week is Angelina. Week after week, you're coming into these episodes like, what stunts are Angelina and Natalie gonna pull this time? The eggs are the side quest this episode. The real focus is the jackets. Angelina lights the fuse, telling Natalie to get Lyrsa's jacket, which quickly snowballs into Natalie threatening Nick. And you could tell the whole time, it's not going the way she wanted it to, looking like her life is flashing before her eyes in terror the more this plays out, culminating in the final tribal, where she's still in shock. She does defend Natalie. Natalie really is doing this to help Angelina, and she votes for Natalie to stay so she can get her jacket. But then Natalie doesn't know if Angelina was the one vote to keep her, so she doesn't give her the jacket. But who did Natalie think the vote was? You know what? Natalie should have given Angelina the jacket, but her not giving it makes it a more iconic moment. If anything Angelina does on 50 is anywhere close to this, we will be fed well. I might gain a few pounds. So that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments. Are you team boil the eggs or preserve them? Natalie, if you're watching this, can I have your jacket? Natalie, if you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. We're back tomorrow where we're catching up with Devins and Aubrey on the edge of extinction. Until then, you know where to find me. And that sting you feel in your eyes, that's the Natalie Napalm, darlings. Natalie?